Greetings guys, it's Kazur. Welcome back to another episode of IWHY, I Will Hunt You. In our previous episode, we talked about Ghost Harag and how to beat it. In this episode, we will be talking about Crimson Glow Valstrax, the Star of Despair. Valstrax is an Elder Dragon and one of the flagship monsters in Monster Hunter Generations Ultimate. This Crimson Glow variant is new to the series, introduced in Monster Hunter Rise patch 3.0. From here on, I'll refer to this variant simply as Valstrax. Its most unique mechanic is manipulating the dragon elemental flames that its body emits to land tremendously powerful and fast attacks. Before getting to its moves and how to beat it, let's start with its elemental and status weaknesses as well as its weak points. Valstrax is pretty weak to all elements, except for Dragon, to which it is immune. However, Valstrax inflicts Dragon Blight very often during the fight. When afflicted with Dragon Blight, our weapon's elemental damage is blocked. So if you want to bring a strong elemental weapon against this monster, make sure to bring a pouch full of nullberries. An alternative is to get armor with 20 dragon resistance, to completely prevent this debuff. As for status effects, Valstrax is pretty resistant to everything, except for Blast. He is also resistant to all blights, but not immune. Now, let's get to its weak points or hit zone values. When using severing damage, go for its head first, followed by its tail and wing arm. If you near miss its head, the neck is not a bad target either. Moving on to blunt damage, our target should mainly be its head, followed by the wing and wing arm. Finally, when it comes to projectile damage, such as gunshots and arrows, we should aim for its wing arm, followed by the head. Valstrax has 5 breakable parts. Its head, back, front legs, and wings can all be wounded. It also has a severable tail. Before going after Valstrax, make sure you've maxed out your armor's defense. This monster hits like a truck, so if you want to boost your chances of survival, you need to bring your gear maxed out. Let's eat our food, bring our potions, nullberries, and traps? No, don't bring traps. Valstrax is an Elder Dragon, therefore traps are completely useless against him. Let's break down its moves, starting with the roars. Like most monsters, Valstrax has 2 roars, one for when your presence has been noticed, and one for when it becomes angry. The latter will also have Valstrax's neck look very red, fire emitting from its shoulders. When mad, a lot of its moves are slightly altered. Valstrax attacks mostly with its wings. It has the ability to move the direction its wings are facing mid-fight, and depending on their position, it uses different moves. We will name the 2 wing positions back and front. It has no attacks involving its tail. Now, we will talk about all of its moves and how to telegraph them, starting with the bite advance. Similar to the horn attack we discussed on our Magnamalo video, Valstrax lunges forward trying to bite its target. This attack has a pretty good range, so do not underestimate it. Pay attention to its head curling upward and its legs slightly lifted up. If you get hit, you will receive a decent chunk of damage while being knocked down. The rearing strike. Valstrax gallops a small distance, then stands on its back legs before quickly dropping down again with a bite. If you see it coming towards you in this manner, then it will probably do this move or a simple bite. Usually used to close distance, you won't see this move often unless you're attacking from afar. It's also not commonly seen when it is angry. Get hit and you will be knocked down. The wing dunk. Wing position, back. This is one of its bread and butter skills. Valstrax will quickly swipe the ground in front with its claws, before dropping its wing with force from above, piercing the ground. This move will always aim to hit your current position, so try to be moving constantly. You can tell this move is coming by looking at Valstrax pulling its arm way behind its body, in order to stretch it out and hit you, followed by its opposite wing. If there is dragon fire emitting from its wings, this will leave 2 small exploding orbs on the side of the wing arm. If Valstrax is angry, this move will always be cast twice, one swipe followed by the wings, one after the other. If Valstrax is not angry, this move will have it remove its wing arm out of the ground slowly, leaving a small window to deal some damage. However, if it is angry, after having attacked with both of its wings, Valstrax will sit in place growling. This is a perfect opportunity to attack it. I'm gonna recommend two ways in playing around this move. One is to let the swipe hit us, as it deals the least amount of damage, and while we are thrown on the floor, we can't be hit by the wing arm. Wait patiently, and when it finishes the whole combo, recover using a wirefall and attack it quickly. Then we can drink a potion. Be aware of the orbs on the floor. You can walk through them if you're right in between, and the explosions won't hit you. Keep in mind that if you panic and use your wirefall too fast after getting hit by the swipe, the descending wing arm will be the end of you. Don't freak out and let it finish this move completely. Our other method is simply dodging. The swipe comes fast and is relatively hard to dodge, but if you manage to do so, the wing arms have a narrow hitbox, and rolling right before they come down should be an easy enough way to avoid getting hit. So, to sum this move up, flames on wings equals bombs on the floor. Angry bird equals swipe to both wings to big opening. The rear wing dunk. Wing position, back. It will use this move when you're positioned behind it. Valstrax lifts one wing higher than the other, flames lit, ready to propel. It then does a super fast 180-degree turn while slamming its wing to the ground. Similar to the regular wing dunk, if Valstrax is angry, it will use this move twice, and if the wings are covered with fire, it will leave the two exploding orbs on the side. There is no swipe included. The same principle is applied, with us trying to dodge on the sides, then swiftly jumping in to counterattack. The double wing slam. Wing position, front. Valstrax attacks with its claws in front of it, similar to the swipe from the wing dunk, but much faster. Immediately afterwards, it slams its wing on the ground. This move will be cast twice, with both legs followed by their corresponding wings. It has a huge area of effect and pretty long range. Getting as close to Valstrax as possible can be an easy way to avoid this move, as it doesn't have the ability to track your movement. If you get hit by the first swipe or slam, don't panic wirefall, unless it's towards the outer parts of Valstrax. If you wirefall in the front, you will most likely be hit by the second swipe or slam. This move deals medium damage. The wing grounding. Wing position, front. Valstrax lifts its wing above, then slams it down on the ground with force, spreading it wide. The wing will stay on the floor for a bit, with 3 lines of explosive dragon element being charged on the floor. After a brief delay, Valstrax lifts its wing up, causing the trail to explode. If you are on the outer exploding lines, you can wirefall away. If you're hit in the middle, stay down until the ground explodes. If you rush, you might get hit by the follow-up explosion, right after the wing hits you. This move deals medium damage, but can deal a lot more if you get hit by both parts. Try to avoid it by being closer to Valstrax when its wings are positioned to the front. It can reach you in medium range, but it's easier for you to dodge it by rolling towards him when point blank. The wing slap. Wing position, front. Valstrax covers its face with one of its wings while lifting the other one up behind. After a small delay, it brings the back wing in front, swiping a huge area, like a big slap. This move deals medium to high damage. In order to avoid it, either get further away from Valstrax or right under its chest. If Valstrax is angry, this move will very often combo into a wing grounding. The wing stab. Wing position, back. Valstrax makes a quick spin in order to face its target, charging one of its wings behind its back. After a brief delay, it stretches and thrusts its wing towards its target. This move has ridiculously big range. If you think it won't reach you, it probably will. If Valstrax is angry, it will always do this move twice, once for each wing. If you're hit by the first wing while Valstrax is mad, stay on the floor until it finishes its combo. Right after it does, recover with a wirebug. The rocket sweep. Wing position, back. Valstrax makes a quick spin in order to face its target, charging one of its wings behind its back, exactly like the wing stab. The only difference being the charge taking more time. After a brief delay, Valstrax performs a quick wing stab, then immediately pulls its wing close before using its jet-like flames to propel it towards its outer side, spinning and slicing the air in a full circle. This move is quick and deals a big chunk of damage. If you get hit by the stab, and use a wirebug too soon, the slice might hit you and the combo can kill you, unless you have very high defense. Wait until the wing goes over your head with the slice, then recover. If you manage to not get hit by the initial stab, stay as close as you can to Valstrax right before it spins. This will keep you safe. The spin will most likely not hit you. After the spin, Valstrax will growl in place, leaving it vulnerable for some attacks. The Rocket Launcher. Wing position, front. Valstrax shoots 6 quick Dragonfire orbs from both of its wings, spreading towards its target. These orbs are then planted to the ground, causing it to explode. If you keep moving constantly, this move will most likely miss. If you get hit however, you will lose a little HP and be thrown on the ground. The Low Burst. Wing position, front. Valstrax stands on its back legs, aiming its wings towards the ground. After a small delay, it creates an explosion underneath. This move deals medium damage and will throw you airborne. If you get hit, use a wirebug to recover from the air immediately, as this move is always a 2-part combo and can kill you if both attacks land. The follow-up attack is called Demon Hands. The Demon Hands. Valstrax lays low and places its wings above it, facing the sky. Dragonfire emits from them, and after a brief delay, this fire explodes, dealing a medium chunk of damage. This move will never be used by itself. It will always be cast right after the Low Burst, or after Valstrax enters its aerial state, which we will discuss further down. The Jet Propel. Wing position, back. This move is usually used when you've kept some distance from the monster. Valstrax growls loudly, then immediately places its arms to its sides, propelling them with Dragonfire towards its target at an insane speed. If you hear the growl, make sure to dodge to the side as fast as possible, and you might get out of the way. If you get hit, you will lose a huge chunk of your HP. Sometimes right after this move, Valstrax will enter its aerial state. The Aerial State. Valstrax uses the fire from its wings to hover itself above the ground, sometimes right after a jet propel. Always be on your toes when you see this. When in this form, if you're near Valstrax, it will most likely land back down, trying to hit you with its Demon Hands move. If you're further away, it will use the Jet Dive. The Jet Dive. Condition: Aerial State. Valstrax points its wings towards its target for a very small time while mid-air. Immediately afterwards, it dives very quickly towards said target, leaving explosions on the place of impact. Try to dodge this move, as it deals high damage. If you get hit, you will be thrown on the ground, and like usual, be careful when using a wirefall, as to avoid the explosions left on the ground behind. After the dive, Valstrax growls in place, perfect opportunity to deal some damage. The Final Flash. Wing position: any. Valstrax briefly rises on its back legs, spreading its wings in an intimidating fashion. Immediately afterwards, it places both wings in front of it, charging them up before releasing a massive energy beam. After 2 seconds, it redirects the beam towards the sky, while leaving exploding energy on the ground where it was cast. This attack is pretty easy to dodge by getting out of the way, and gives you a huge opening to attack Valstrax both while throwing the beam and right after it's finished. If you get hit however, say goodbye to your HP, as this move can easily one-shot any hunter with low enough defense. The Frontflip. Wing position: front. Valstrax growls loudly while galloping a small distance, similar to the sound you hear before the jet propel. It will then do a front flip, while releasing explosive dragon energy from its wings in a big area on the ground beneath. Pay attention to the sound it makes, as this move deals high damage if it connects. Let's wrap this up with its ultimate move, the Ambush. Valstrax takes its traveling position, then soars high into the sky. After approximately 6 seconds of flying around, it crashes towards its target, dealing massive damage. You have no time to sharpen your weapon. Put it away, run, and use your Superman dive 2 seconds before Valstrax comes charging towards you. You can jump right after the burst of speed Valstrax gains while mid-air, and you will still dodge this move. In order to use our Superman dive, we need to have our weapon sheathed and press the roll button while running away with the monster behind us. If you get hit, you will receive massive damage, and your wirebugs will be disabled until you get up. If you successfully dodge this move, good job. you can deal some extra damage to Valstrax as it growls in place. Great, we've covered all of its moves. Now I will give you some tips in order to make this fight even easier. The most important tip is to hit Valstrax's chest when it's charging. If you did enough damage, its chest will explode, knocking the monster down. This gives us a huge opening to deal a lot of damage. Valstrax is very dominant if you're fighting him mid-range. Try to stay close to its front legs at all times, so that you can safely damage its head while having plenty of space to dodge its wing attacks. If you're playing as a gunner, try to keep a decent distance and be on your toes at all times. With almost every move that connects, Valstrax will inflict you with Dragon Blade. This will cancel your weapon's elemental properties. If you're using an elemental weapon, make sure to eat lots of Nulberries. As previously mentioned, max out your armor's defense. Valstrax deals massive amounts of damage, and you will spend most of your time chugging potions until you're used to its mechanics. The higher the defense, the harder it is for its moves to deal over 70% of your HP in one hit. Do not let it land attacks for free. Most moves Valstrax uses when it's angry will leave him vulnerable for a small period of time afterwards. Give it time to attack and focus on counter-attacking. Once you're more familiar with its patterns, you can become more aggressive. A tip when you're using severing damage is to land free attacks on its tail here and there, since it is quite weak to this type of damage and also keeps you relatively safe, as there's not really a way for Valstrax to attack its rear. My last tip is about its drops. You all want to fight Valstrax a lot of times to forge its armor, and you might be struggling with some drops. It was very hard for me getting Rouge's spike wings. This is a 21% carve drop, but it is much easier to get as a reward for breaking its wings. However, this can be quite hard, since its wings are pretty tough. As for its orb, I know it's very frustrating to get, as it is a 1% drop, be it a carve or reward at the end. If we break its head, we have a 3% chance of getting an orb as a reward at the end, which is still low, but better than 1%. If you cut its tail, you have a very small chance of carving an orb from there. It is just luck at this point, honestly, and I wish you the best of it. That sums it up for our Valstrax guide. As always, thank you all for watching until this point. I hope this video helps you guys when fighting the Comet bird. You can easily take it down, just keep practicing. Make sure to leave a like if you found this guide useful, subscribe for more content, and ring the bell to be notified about new videos. Until then, stay safe.